Good morning, everyone. Good morning from the Rocky Mountains. Today is Wednesday, second to last day of April, second to last day of our poetry month, National Poetry Month. I will keep reading poems after this month ends, but just so everyone knows, there are a lot of resources on the internet right now because it is Poetry Month that are really amazing. My friend Rosemary, Wahtola Trommmer has been reading a poem every single day this month, including on the weekends. And she's a fantastic poet. And so hearing the poetry that she loves, of course, has been inspiration for some of the poetry that you've heard. But more, it has been fun to see how she and I think so similarly, and how I'll read something, she'll read it, then she'll read something, and I'm like, oh, I plan to read that. So anyways, good morning, honey, from over the mountains. So here we are, hashtag Be Home Together session for Wednesday. I just had a beautiful hike and was on the phone with a dear friend of mine, and we were talking about resilience and how people have been saying, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I said to him, I think it's actually more of an ultra marathon. Which is more to 50 to 100 miles, run instead of the 26.2. Or as he said, a major triathlon but I don't know how to swim. So what do we do? We're just learning together. And so we had this great talk about the idea of resilience and what we can do to be helping ourselves and others learn the conditioning of resilience. It is a form of strength training, and it is very unnerving at first when we're asked to be stepping into that. But it is a form of strength that prepares us for everything life will bring. The illusion of certainty that we left behind, where we thought, well, our paycheck comes on this day and we go to the grocery store and this is what will be there, and toilet paper is a given. We'll always have access to that. Those were obviously all illusions of certainty because they suddenly could disappear so quickly. So this idea of uncertain times, he was talking about that. He on his Travis Thomas is his name, and liveyesand.com is where you can find him. But he also is on Live Yes And on Facebook. And he gave a talk about in these uncertain times. I believe that was his Facebook Live yesterday. So you can check that out. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and take a moment to take a nice deep breath and just drop into ourselves, into this moment together. Take another nice deep breath in and out. I'm going to walk us through the 3 things that we remember together, and I invite you to take this moment to be home with yourselves. You can place your hand on your hearts if you want to. I love doing that. Or you can just let your arms dangle at your side so you can relax all the way. Let your shoulders drop. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure you take a moment to feel held. Let go of the efforting, let go of the tension, the what ifs, the need for certainty. Set that down and just let yourself be held. And I'll walk us through the 3 things we remember each day. I belong here. I belong here in this moment exactly as it is, exactly as I am today, without a need to change anything, control anything, fix anything, force anything. I belong here in this moment. I am ready. I am ready for this time. I was made for this time. This time is ready for me. I am ready because right where I am is the supply to meet what is mine to meet. If I do not have it in myself, my neighbor has it, and I can ask for help. I am not alone. I am not alone because right where I am, closer than my very breath, is divine love, the still small voice telling me what I need to know to take the next right step. What I need to know to find peace in the middle of adversity, to find peace in myself in the midst of whatever I'm facing so that I can hear the right solution for what is before me. I am ready. I belong here. I am ready. I am not alone. So that is what we remember each day together. Hi, Moffat. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining. The poem I have for you today is by my friend Rosemary Wahtola Trommmer, who I mentioned at the beginning of this. She wrote a poem called Believing Things That Seem Impossible. Like the giant rock balancing in the desert on a slender pillar of sand. Like the way the full moon seems so much larger when it first rises. Like how the bluebird, smaller than my open hand, migrates up to 2,000 miles in the spring. Every day, the world bewilders me, as if daring me to believe in other impossible things. Like how closeness to death makes us feel more alive. Like people all over the world choosing kindness over chaos. Like love that against all odds continues to grow. Believing things that seem impossible. Like the giant rock balancing in the desert on a slender pillar of sand. Like the way the full moon seems so much larger when it first rises. Like how the bluebird, smaller than my open hand, migrates up to 2,000 miles in the spring. Every day the world bewilders me, as if daring me to believe in other impossible things. Like how closeness to death makes us feel more alive. Like people all over the world choosing kindness over chaos. Like love that against all odds continues to grow. Thank you, Rosemary, for that beautiful poem. And with that, so I've been sharing a lot from Bring Your Life Back to Life or Everyday Angels by Brian Andreas. And Everyday Angels is also by Thea Sky. So he's a very unique artist, and I always like to show his little drawings that are so quirky. So this little story, very short, says, absolutely everything you do is a chance to give love. Start anytime you'd like. Absolutely everything you do is a chance to give love. Start anytime you'd like. So today's message is very simple. Looking for those places where the love is growing against all odds. In ourselves, maybe we feel attacked, or we feel like we disagree with someone, or we feel really scared or uncertain about something that is coming up. Whatever the situation is, leaning into that moment to look for how to love, to look for the presence of love, look for the angels on that pathway. I know I've said that before, like look for your angels right where this adversity sits, right where the challenge of unemployment seems to dwell, or a fear of what comes next, or health, right where that is. Love already is there. And listening and finding and seeking out where those little sprouts through the asphalt are popping up, to look for those and to pay attention. The more we pay attention for love and look for it, the more it shows up. The more I choose to give love, the more love I experience. So that's our simple message for today. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching. Moffat, Kevin, and Michael. Much love.